bad news, but I got some news. Yeah, I'm back. I was gone for a sec, now I'm back. On a unwanted vacation where I was at. Time to get the thoughts right back in my head. Bearer of bad news, yeah, I'm back. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I got some news, yeah, I'm back. First day out, all I needed pad and something to write with. Going out, now I'm in the booth and I'm going in. Feel some type of way, well I tell you now I feel the same. Ain't nobody give me a pop, man, to piss in. Mama never held my hand, run around wildin'. Cocoon, that's what the older Zoes call me. My god brother KG, blacker than any African, but he's smoother than any criminal that I ever seen. Y'all already know who my right hand man is, Mr. Teflon. Any living little Pakistan, man, I missed my man while I was gone in the can. All I had time to do, man, was sit back and think, reconstruct my brain. Now I'm ready to get back in the paint. Double dribble, turnover. Now I'm playing defense. Hard pull in the water is more like single swim. The way that I'm smoking, call it the ocean twins.
Daily devotion. Butterfly. Butterfly. Butterflies are beautiful, aren't they? I mean, the essential colors that they come with, the patterns, and just the way, if you know their story of how they come about. The story in itself is just a fabulous story. I mean, just the way that you hear how it crawls into a cocoon to become a butterfly. Whew. The things that God does, the beauty that he does, the way that he shows that his perfect timing is beautiful. It makes me blush to know that, you know what I'm saying? I am is inside of me, just like he is inside of you. And the more that I allow this walk and this journey that I'm on to be able to be seen and projected out, you know, the more that I even learn about the caterpillar that's going into the cocoon. You see, if somebody was to help a butterfly out, to get out of the cocoon, the butterfly would die. Right? If somebody was to help the butterfly out, to get out of the cocoon, the butterfly would die. And that's why it's so important that we honestly always look to who? To I am, to God himself. He puts people in our paths, you know what I'm saying, 333. Like, you know, for some reason, we have ascended masters, you know, and he puts teachers in our paths, and we all are teachers, to be honest. You know, from a way, think about it. Parenting is a tool for all of us. I mean, I don't know if we know this or not, guys, but parenting is a tool for us to learn how to be able to teach the next person. Honestly, guys, that's what parenting is for. Because if you can teach a kid, you can teach an adult, right? Honestly. So, we have to become more in the thought process of understanding the caterpillar and the crawling and the cocoon. Cocoon? Yeah, cocoon. And honestly, becoming the butterfly and coming out of cocoon. Because the beauty of God is always the last act, is it not? The beauty of God is always the last act. Okay, let's take a frog, right? A frog is such a slimy creature, right? You can see it right now, right? But let's take a frog and see how God can take something that we call ugly and still will be ugly, but we'll say that it's beautiful. All right? So let's take a frog and let's look at a frog that is from the rainforest. The colorful frog with the multicolor. That looks like tie-dye just dropped from a raindrop and just said splat and decided to leave its mark there. those frogs. Now, even though they're slimy and we would say ugly creatures, in the end, right, we would say that's beautiful. At the end, that would be the last thing, but those are beautiful colors. That's beautiful. You know, it catches the eye. It makes it pop. And the reason why I even came up with this butterfly and cocoon and the same thing with the tadpole and the frog is this. We have to learn more so about yoga. A lot of people, they do yoga like as an exercise, or a lot of people they do use it for necessary, like the right things, but they're outskirt things, okay? And this came to me because, you know, I literally just got out of yoga, and I've been kind of trying to do the devotions, some of them, not a lot, because after my yoga time, it's a very sacred time for me. I'm just telling you how this little insight, using like a felt. But I feel that you're getting more authentic I am, because I'm coming straight out of the chamber. You get what I'm saying? And we all have I am in us. And I am more so, honestly, wants us to know, like, do not be afraid of I am. And honestly, do not judge your peers of I am, like me. Don't judge me of I am. And like for me not to judge you of I am. Of necessary the things that they're going through in the chambers of becoming the full I am that they are. Because the gifts of God, the things that Jesus did, he said that we would do greater things than he. And we as his people are so much haters. Because when we hear somebody's beginning to prosper in God's ways and be able to do the miracles such as Jesus, we begin to become haters. We begin to be able to let hate crime by words come upon us, and speaking things such as to say that the other person is cuckoo, or they've lost it and they're just beyond themselves. And really, it's if you really think about it, no, you're cuckoo. You know what I mean? The person that thinks that they can change the world is usually the one that can change the world. The person that states that they can change the world is usually the person that does change the world. So, you know, I've learned something about being a hater. All it is doubt. And I'm not a person of doubt, so that's why I've noticed that I've never been really much of a hater, because I don't doubt. And I've learned that because I don't doubt, that I trust more in the universe, which is God, and that allows me to be that caterpillar crawling. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And with yoga, because I'm here honestly to bring back the esoteric teachings of scripture, you know, and honestly to bring back the esoteric teachings of scripture, we have to go back to that time. And back in that time, yoga, Jesus did yoga. Yes, he did. I believe so. And I say that why? Because yoga, I was literally just doing meditation. And even with yoga, I'm really trying to get y'all onto doing yoga, not just meditation, yoga. So meditation is very important. I meditate pretty much all day, every day. I ain't gonna lie to you. And when I say the all day part, I'll explain that to you in a little bit. But I meditate for in a period of time every day. And I'm trying to get you to the point of meditation, at least 5 minutes. Everybody has 5 minutes that they can put on to meditation. Like, think about it. You sit on the toilet. I'm just sitting on the toilet for 5 minutes. and scroll up and down your phone while you're dropping a turd in the toilet. I mean, you can even use sitting on the toilet, dropping a turd as a time to meditate. And it's honestly one of the best times to meditate. And I'll tell you why right now. Listen to me. Because while you're taking a dump, right, you're contracting and detracting your butthole, right? You're contracting and detracting your butthole. And if you really put your phone down and during that time, maybe just put some soothing music on your phone and do some maybe the breathing techniques that I've taught you, or just honestly, something that I've taught you so that way it works. Because sitting on the toilet, taking a dump is honestly, I know it's like, it sounds weird, but it's really not weird. Like after you do it once, it's like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. It's actually a technique that I do every time. Like, you know what I mean? I just made myself become beast mode, yo. Like, a lot of people don't get that. That's one thing that's about me. I have, yes, an addictive type of personality. And I really just figured out how to tap into God's algorithm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just kept finding ways just to, knock on his door. Come on, knock on my door. And like even little things like that. I know it sounds weird, but the weird things is what works, right? They usually say, think about what they said about Albert Einstein. I mean, and honestly with me, it's just I'm that way with trying to figure out the spirit, boy. And the spirit is here, man. I'm so alive in spirit, I tell you that right now, and spirit wants to wake inside of you to the fullest. The spirit is there. Like, everybody knows they got a spirit, but I'm talking about spirit wants to become active. Like have you ever watched wrestling? Like, tag me in. Like, for real, tag me in. So with yoga, and really what I want to explain to you is this. With yoga, the reason why you do those stretches, right, is to open up your flow, your blood flow, your capacity of basically your veins and things of that such to expand. So when you expand, you allow energy to flow more, because that's what we are, we're energy. And right now, while I was doing yoga, right, I'm gonna walk you through how I do yoga. Like, even in my intro of yoga, what I do is, again, it has to do with the number 333 bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta look that up. You know what I mean? It has to do with the master like teachers and just honestly having your own ascended masters around you with the ascended master. Just think about the things that you constantly think about. Like, if you think about prosperity and wealth, think who do you think of as a guru in that category for yourself? Or do you think about prosperity and health? Think about who do you look up to as a guru in that area. You know what I mean? Think about your prosperity and knowledge, wisdom. And who do you look at as a guru in that? And that's how you go about that. But the stretching, right? The breathing into the stretch, right? I breathe 3 times into the stretch. So like, let's say I'm doing left leg out, right leg in, right? In a triangle form. And I'm stretching to my left leg, trying to get my knee down, trying to get my head down to my knee. And when I hold it, right, when I get down to a good holding position and I breathe 3 times into it, this is what came to me today. Like, honestly, while I was doing that, honestly, the verse, I breathe life into you, came to me. And it came to me so sharp. And it was while I was breathing, it was like, while I was doing that, I was breathing into it. And while I was doing that, I swear to you, it's like I heard it as clear as day. I breathe life into you. And that's what that verse means. And of course it could mean so many more tangible, but that's what it means. Like, I was doing yoga, and think about this. Like, I don't do yoga in the sense of way that somebody is teaching me how to do yoga. I do yoga, honestly, on my own. I've learned it from being behind bars. My sensei is Nick Swindler, right? I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but He's a young kid just like me. Young kid just like me. And his brother actually had passed away. Like my close friends are honestly people that their brothers had passed away. And his brother had passed away. I believe he's from Alabama or Indiana or something like that. And his brother passed away. He's a white kid, man. Like, man, this is my sensei, though. I have massive love for him. And his brother was killed by the cops, you know? And, you know, my sensei struggles with this. But more so, the struggle is for strength. And I'm bringing up sensei right now because he taught me yoga in jail. Like a place that you do this kind of stuff, right? But the thing was, Sensei just did yoga. To me, I did the spiritual part, like reading. I was always in the Word, man. I was always in the Word. So he did the yoga and I was always in the Word. And mind you, he was in a block that was totally different than mine. He was in a totally, complete different block. But I could always see him doing yoga in the morning. And he finally finished with the program that he was in, and I was actually going into it, but I still had some time. So he's transferred over to the block that I was in, which was it was the dorm, so it was a dorm right across from the program. So when he came over, you know what I mean, I knew who it was, and I was like, bro, like, and this is another thing in the jailhouse, it's hard now to come up and talk to somebody about some dumb, like, hey bro, you know what I mean, something like that. But at the same time, I knew that I could step to Sensei because he did it in front of all these, you know, criminals, you know, tough guys, the people that you need to make sure you are hardcore for. Yeah, right. Man, I'll tell you right now, dog, if you bring God into jail, bro, like his spirit, his vibe, there's nobody in the world that can bother you. Like, God, if you bring God into jail, like, if you bring God for real, let me tell you, there's certain times when you'll notice that you just provoke God to awaken. I am to awaken, like, inside of you, right now. Like, if you're in a situation like jail, right, you provoke God to wake right now because you need his senses and you need to rely on his senses. If you get in an accident or something like that, you provoke God to wake up. He wakes up right now. If you get a gun pointed at you, you provoke God to wake up right now. Like, you completely shift. And if you really are paying attention, you can feel that you are not yourself. Like, if you really are paying attention, you can feel that the caterpillar has gone into the cocoon and the cocoon has opened up and the butterfly is out. You can feel that happen literally in seconds. And this is why I'm bringing up this yoga thing and this breathing, because I'm trying to get you guys to do at least 5 minutes. I've been doing these devotions for since the beginning of the year. So we're coming to the end of the year now, folks. And if you haven't been doing even any sense of yoga, not just meditation, I'm talking about yoga, the fashion of stretching and breathing in life. That's what he says in scripture, breathe in life. So you're breathing life into those vessels, his vessels, from head to toe. And by doing that, you become awakened. You get what I'm saying? It's another form of awakening you, so that way you can move in a direction to manifest things and bring things that are not visible to be visible. Things that are not created to be created. Everything is at our granted of access because of universe. So I say thank you, which is God. But we must begin to become a butterfly and enjoy being a caterpillar. A caterpillar is honestly the journey to becoming the butterfly, which is Jesus, the I am. and enjoy the journey. Because truly it is deep. And I am who I am. Just like you are.